Hello everyone, welcome to Resource Naturopathy's Kitchen. Thanks for joining me today. I thought I'd show you a quick recipe of bone marrow soup, and I'll show you what it's all about. Bone marrow soup, also known as longevity soup. It contains basically the bones of any land-bearing animal, boiled to make a beautiful broth, and I like to include lots of fresh vegetables in my broth. This is a wonderful soup for anyone suffering from calcium deficiency or severe anemia or blood deficiency, anybody that needs a tonifying soup, a tonic, a boost in the winter time. This is a really nourishing, hearty soup full of minerals and will give you a lot of nutrients that you need. So we'll just start by showing you the actual bones that I use. Now you can go to any butcher and you can basically get your bones for next to nothing or for free. Here I have kosher veal bones that I use. These are the raw ones. I already have a cooked package that I put into my pot of boiling water. So what I've done, my first step is that I've boiled my two large bones for about 4 to 6 hours. So they've been boiling really nicely in my pot of hot water. To that hot water, I've added 1 tablespoon of organic unfiltered raw apple cider vinegar. This helps to pull the minerals out of the bones and into the soup. The next thing I've done in my broth is I've put a freshly dried astragalus root, which is a Chinese herb, great for supporting the immune system. It's an immune system tonic. So I've put about 8 to 10 sticks of astragalus root into my soup. I've got about 1.5 cups of dried and soaked and partially cooked lima beans. So I cooked those in advance. I partially cooked them, and they are going to continue cooking in the broth. One thing that I find very handy dandy is I have part of the clear broth which I've sectioned off for future use. So this really saves me when I'm really short of time. I just basically section off a part of the broth, I allow it to cool off, and then I put it into a glass container and put it in my freezer. So the next time I want soup, I just need to take that out of the freezer, de-thaw it, and then add my fresh vegetables. It's not the greatest thing in the world to freeze, but it's not always that I have the time to do this, because it's quite a long process when you're making the broth from scratch. But it's definitely worth the time and the effort, because it comes out to be a beautiful, harmonious soup at the end of the day. So here I've got all my fresh vegetables. I'll show you I've got 2 small zucchinis chopped up, 2 organic carrots with the skin on. When the vegetables are organic, I really like to keep the skin on because that's where most of the nutrients are. I've got 1 white potato, I've got 1 large leek, 3 fresh cloves of garlic, and 1 large sweet potato. So all of that is going to go into my beautiful golden broth, and I can't forget to show you that I've put turmeric, which is a beautiful anti-inflammatory spice. I love this brand. These guys import their herbs from Sri Lanka. It's all organic, fair trade spices. Beautiful, beautiful spices. I've never tasted spices with this sort of flavor in my whole life. So these are beautiful spices. So I put about 1 tablespoon of organic turmeric into my broth. So my next step is to basically put my pre-cooked lima beans into my broth, as well as my beautiful array of vegetables, right into my broth, and wait until the lima beans have cooked. I don't like my vegetables too soggy, so I leave them sort of crunchy. And at the end of the day, I've got a beautiful soup that I could serve for the next day or two. And it's nutritious, delicious, great and warming in the winter time. And if anyone's getting a cold, this is the first line of medicine against any colds or flus or any respiratory infections, anything like that. Look at all the beautiful superfoods which are added to my bone marrow soup. You can find the recipe on my website, which is www.resourcenaturopathy.com. Enjoy! Here we go. Here's my beautiful soup cooking up. It's just starting to boil. You've got all the beans, all the vegetables mixing together and seeping into the broth. So there we go, guys. There you have it. Beautiful vegetable longevity soup. Enjoy.